Hey, how's it going? It's Craig. I'm out in the garage and today we're going to part 2 of our switch repair because our package of parts has arrived. Let's take a look. Okay, so the package arrived today from Replace Base. I've not opened it yet. We'll have a look, open it up, see what is inside. It feels pretty light, but we've only got a screen and a couple of other bits in there. I'm pretty surprised they packed it in a jiffy envelope for such delicate parts, but hopefully everything's okay and intact inside there. So what we'll do is we'll switch to the overhead camera. We'll open this up on camera, have a look what's inside. I've got to get some other parts to get this sorted. I've got all the screwdrivers and things out here. One thing I do need, super glue. That's a sticking point. Hey, I need to get some super glue, so I'll have a look in the house if I got some. I bought some recently, but you know how super glue is, it normally dries up and you can't open it again. But without super glue I can't glue those parts back in. We could do the rest of it, but it means when I put it back in, that rail's not going to be glued into place, or the parts are not going to be glued in so I can screw it back in, and there's risk of damaging that cable again, so we don't want to do that. Leave it with me, let's jump in, have a look what's in the package and we'll go from there. Cool, catch you in a sec. Okay then, let's have a look in this package, see what has come, what's been delivered today. So, open him up. Got an invoice first of all, let's have a look at that. Oh, what's this? A grip driver. Okay. And some advert for some kind of batteries or some other item. Checklist, what's been delivered, so everything's got a tick next to it, which is great. So hopefully everything's in this package. Cool, let's have a look what's in there. Okay, there's my spudgers. There's our pry tools. Let's have a look what else we've got in here. Alright, we've got a package. Oh, it's a fly in here, it's doing my bloody head in.
Like, what do you mean? I mean, a fly. A housefly.
I haven't got a knife here at the moment. Okay, so all my parts being packed in nice bubble wrap inside. So this is our Joy-Con rail, our old one for comparison. There and there. So as you can see, let me put these down a second and zoom in. Hopefully that fly's not zooming in and out of shot all the time. Okay, so old one there with the bits of plastic still stuck on it, and then the new one, as you can see, has got a ribbon cable. I wonder if that just clips on, but I don't want to be messing around with it anyway. But that ribbon cable has been totally snapped off of this one, so that one's never going to work again. I don't know where the other part of it is, whether it's still connected in here or something, that end, I don't know. It doesn't seem like we've got it anyway. So new Joy-Con rail, which is really handy to have. It looks nice, quality condition, metal fixing, exactly what you expect it to be really. So we'll put that aside. There's our adhesive. So again, we're going to use that when we're sticking the Digitizer back down later on. It's got double-sided plastic on it so you can peel it off, stick that down and stick your Digitizer over the top. Okay, so this is the Digitizer screen. I had a friend of mine, Steve, if you're watching, Steve messaged me after the last video went out and said you said you didn't know whether it was plastic or glass, but he sent me a screenshot of on the Replace Base listing that it says glass. But even when they do say they call it a glass, but sometimes they send them as plastic, and I think this one, I don't know how to, I think that is plastic, I don't think it's glass. I don't know. Maybe it is glass. Maybe it'll come apparent when we take the stickers off later and have a look at how it compares to an original one. So yeah, maybe it is glass. This makes no sense on camera, me just tapping a piece of glass. Anyway, so Steve messaged me and was like, It says in the description. I was like, yeah, I know, but sometimes they call them a glass, but it's a plastic replacement. But I think that one is glass. Okay, next part is the most important piece, and that's our LCD screen. So let's have a look at this. Hopefully it's got protective covers on it, so I'm not going to get my fingers. Yeah. So 2 ribbon cables on this, one there and one there. They both literally just fold through the system to connect back in. Both of them got latch down connectors. This doesn't glue in or anything, it just sits back in place. It's such an amazing piece of tech, that the quality on that screen and the size on it, look how thin it is, unbelievable. That is so easy to break, so I need to be careful with this. I'm going to put it back in here, I'm going to put it back in the bubble wrap as well, because I know my luck, I'll end up snapping it or damaging it in some way. So that's all looking good. I think that's everything I ordered from Replace Base has all arrived, all nice quality, as you'd expect from a company such as Replace Base. So yeah, cool, happy with that. Next thing for me to do is to put this all aside safely. I'm then going to go ahead and start opening this up, and we'll go from there, see if we can get everything. Look at that fly landed on me then. Ugh, I hate flies. Yeah, so let's strip this down, go from there, and then we'll catch up in a sec. Cool. Here we go. Okay, so let's flip him over, and we've got tri-wings in here, a Phillips there, and there's a couple more underneath the Joy-Con rail. So let's get these out first of all. Okay, so we've taken that part off now, so the heat shielding's off. This is the SD card holder, I believe, and it's got a little push clip which goes back onto the motherboard. I didn't take that rubber bit off. I must manage to get the tweezers down inside and just lift it off. We've got a lot of fairly dry, looks like chewing gum, but the thermal paste is fairly dry on there. So we'll replace all the thermal paste before we put it back together anyway. Put some nice new thermal paste in there. Other than that, everything else is looking good so far. It does seem like it's not totally straight. It looks like it's been bent out of shape. So as we're going to go through this, if you remember the original video, the Switch console did have a little bit of a curve to it. I'm going to clean everything up before we put it back together, and see what we can do. But yeah, let's carry on getting it taken apart, because we've got to heat the screen up next. To lift the screen out, we can do that with the rest of it pretty much in place. I've got to be careful I don't damage this Joy-Con rail, because this one goes through here and then tucks into there. What I might do is put one of the screws back in here a second, just to hold it in place. So if I pop one of these in with my Phillips, there we go. So it's held in place, so it's not going to fall about, and we're not going to damage that ribbon cable, because that ribbon cable goes underneath and then into here, and I don't want to be messing with that right now. The screen itself, I think our ribbon cable for our Joy-Con goes here. Let's have a look what we've got here. So there's our snapped ribbon cable for our Joy-Con. Okay, so here's our snapped Joy-Con rail. So we're going to be replacing that. We'll be clipping it into this in a little bit once we're building it back together. But that Joy-Con rail cable goes down here, and then obviously feeds through the shell and goes to the Joy-Con rail as it's going up. So we're going to get that sorted. We'll replace this. Literally, we're just going to lift that ribbon cable out and put the new one in. I'll leave this one in place for now. Next thing to do is to flip it over. I'm going to have to put some heat onto this. So I'll get my reflow station, heat it up, and then once we've got it heated up, we're going to pry this up a little bit and try and get this digitizer off, and then the screen out afterwards. Cool. Okay, so now we've got it all apart, it's time to take off this screen. So what we're going to do is glue holding this digitizer on. We need to lift it out. Watch our speaker doesn't move. we need to lift it out this direction because this ribbon cable is down here, and that ribbon cable needs to feed out. I don't mind if it breaks, but I'd rather it come out in one piece. We've always got a spare digitizer if we need one at short notice then, even though it's scratched. But yeah, let's try and get it out in one piece without cracking the digitizer or snapping this ribbon cable. So what we're going to need to do, I've got a rework station, so my soldering iron has got a hot air gun next to it. I'm going to heat up all this, heat it up, mainly focusing on this area to start with because this is the area we want to lift from. Maybe I'll go all around it for quite a few minutes. I'll zoom through this so you're not having to watch me heat it up with a heat gun. I'll zoom through going through it, and then hopefully we'll be able to lift this digitizer out. It's a little bit fiddly. We're probably going to have to go in through one of the speaker ports at the bottom, but let's get it going and heat it up. Cool. Okay, we're going to use one of our spudgers that we bought and try and pry underneath this, lift it, and then we're going to try and get some wedges underneath to try and wedge it out. It's nice and soft now because I've heated it up quite a lot, so I literally can slide this through. I'm going to put a couple of these in here just to hold it in place, take that out of the way, and hopefully we can get it down the side as well. Yeah, look how easy that glue's coming out. Some people could use a hairdryer if you haven't got a rework station. I'm guessing a lot of people won't have rework stations in their house if they're just doing this for the first time. A hairdryer should do it, just be careful with the heat obviously. And let's try and wedge that up without... Oh, we got the LCD as well. Okay, so the LCD's stuck to it. Let's try and wedge that back off. We don't want to take that out yet. The LCD is really broken. Okay, I'm going to try and get this LCD off the digitizer. Because it's smashed, all the screen is stuck to the LCD, to the digitizer. Okay, so our LCD, I'm so glad it's broken because that was absolutely ruined now. But basically we got our digitizer off, so there's the digitizer. We just need to feed through that cable and there it comes. So there's the cable that we were on about earlier. Here's our digitizer. That came off in one piece. This LCD screen is absolutely smashed. It's in bits. It's not glued in. The LCDs don't get glued in, but that one is so cracked that it's really damaged. This game has been bent out of shape really badly. I'm gonna have to see what I can do about it. It's not flat at all. So once I got this screen out, I might try and bend it back into the right shape just to see what we can do. Okay, so next thing to do is to get these ribbon cables out. So that one and this one here. So I'm going to take this one screw out, see if that lifts out then. Was it a couple of screws? I wonder if I can do it without it. Let's try and lift this screen out without taking all the screws out of that other part. So as you can see, that one's popped out straight away. This one, okay, so it loops back on itself, so it's in here and then it loops back in and out onto itself, in and out. So hopefully, well, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Maybe I've got to take that other part out. No, this is good. This is good. Okay, so we've got that LCD out as well. This one is ruined. It's got cracks all over the place. I probably didn't help it that I got stuck to the digitizer when I was taking it out as well. But yeah, it was going in the bin anyway. So okay, let's give it all a clean up now. We'll get things sorted, start having a look at how we want to glue these broken parts on this Joy-Con rail as well. Where's our broken Joy-Con rail? There. So we've got a couple of pieces which need to go back into here, so which need gluing back in somehow. It's really smashed up, this game console. There's not even... So there's parts missing, basically. So there's... Once it's been snapped inside, something is either rattled its way out or has fallen out afterwards. Because when I put that back into here, let's flip that one around. I think that goes that way up. That stays that way. Don't know what that one does. So it flips back into here. I can't even see how it glues back onto these pieces. That one goes onto there. That's fine. That one, I have no idea how that one goes back on. I'll give my best on this. I'll try and glue. That one I can definitely glue back into place. That one can go there. What's that one do? That one up here I can glue back in as well. Yeah, I can glue that back into place as well. So if we get that one glued, I don't know which way this piece of plastic goes to glue it back in. Maybe that way. Something's missing in here. Oh, that's it. So I can glue them back in. It's not going to be ideal, but we've got to work with what we got. Okay, I've got some Loctite. Hopefully, well, Loctite should hold pretty much everything plastic, so hopefully the glue's not ruined in this. I hate super glue, absolutely hate it. I normally end up with everything stuck to my hands and everything else, but look, it's all glued together already, and that's a bloody meant to be a sealed unit that doesn't do this. Absolutely useless. Wish somebody could come up with a super glue that doesn't do this. No. Oh, what a pile of crap. Look at the stupid fancy bottle. What a pile of rubbish. Oh my god. That stupid fancy bottle. And it's just a tube with super glue inside it, and I was all over my hands. Right. Look, it's on my hands, so... And waste not, want not. I'm gonna mop up off my hands. Oh no, where'd that go? Oh, what a mess. Ugh. I hate super glue. My nemesis. Oh shit, it's coming out the bottom. Oh. All on my mat as well. Alright. Try and get this. Okay, well, with that mat dry, I'm going to get a little bit of a alcohol wipe and just start to remove some of this additional paste off here. We're going to be putting new paste on here anyway. There's no point in trying to use the existing paste. Once you've broken that seal on there, you're better off replacing the paste anyway. I don't know how this piece attaches onto this. I wonder if now is the time to try and figure it out. Okay, so there's two little holes inside of this piece of plastic. So this little bit of metal here and here is meant to wedge into. So it's whether they've just been, with everything else, bent out of shape a little bit. If I can bend them out a little bit just to give it a bit more of a grip. See if that does it. There you go. Nice. That's working. Let's give this a wipe down. I'm going to clean everything properly once we've finished, but give it a wipe down, see if we can just make sure there's no grime or grit or anything else on there while we're working. Okay, so I've glued those back in. Next thing for me to do is try and get this back together. So rather than me do it step by step, I'm going to zip through this bit because basically it's the reverse of what we've done. Screen in first, digitizer. We've got that sticky piece that goes around the edge. There's no glue left on this. It all came off with the digitizer, which is good. It's plastic. I didn't realise that, and I melted it a little bit as well. But it's fine. It's all in good condition. It was just on the inside that was melted a tiny little bit. I'll get everything back in. We'll zoom through this bit, and then we'll see if we can switch it on and have a screen. Any output, whether it works, whether it doesn't work, whether I balls it up. I'm also going to put the thermal paste back on there. Cool. I'm going to see how we get on with these. If these two screws work, then I might see what we can do. If not, I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on the back of that Joy-Con rail when we put it back on. Not this one, the new one. Just to put a little bit back on there, just so it holds it in position, just so it doesn't fall out and break that ribbon cable. Okay, so give me a couple of minutes, I'll put all this back together and we will catch up then. Cool. Okay, it's the next day. I had to abandon it because I needed a couple of things. My super glue is now stuck to the cardboard. Absolute waste of money. I normally buy Loctite gear and things like that, but that is absolutely useless. I don't know why they even bothered doing that squeezy thing in there. So I got down to the shop and I bought some cheap 99p for 3 packs. I'll probably only get one use out of each of these and then throw them away because I hate super glue so much that I never get to use it twice. I also bought some double-sided carpet tape. The piece that we bought, this double-sided piece, sticks the screen to the digitizer. So that one sticks that to that, but then nothing holds it into the actual shell itself. So what you need to do is, they sell 3M tape and things in the Replace Base and other places of that you can run around the edges of the system and it sticks the screen down, but carpet tape, double-sided carpet tape should do the same thing. I don't think it's any different at all. So we'll give that a go. One thing I did notice in all the video that you've probably just been watching, I didn't disconnect the battery. Big mistake. Don't ever do that. I don't know whether I've caused any more damage to this system by not disconnecting the battery. We'll find out. I want to rebuild this, get it all sorted before I even think about powering it on, because I want it up and running. I don't want it in bits, taking it apart, putting it back together and things. If I can get it up and running, then I'll be glad. All the ribbon cables are in place now. I don't know whether you're going to see this on camera or not. Ribbon cables are all in place. They all fitted in nice and easy. That Joy-Con rail is going to kill me. Let me get on with securing everything. I want to get all of this back together. I'll take all the protective layers off. So I haven't taken the one off the LCD screen. I haven't taken one off the back of the digitizer or the front of the digitizer yet, because I want to make sure that I've got everything in place and sorted. Thermal paste. I don't know where my thermal paste is. I think it is in my tool set behind me. So I'll go and get my thermal paste now so we can do that before I forget. Because once we start bolting this together, hopefully it'll be the last time for a long time. Yeah, cool. So stick with me. I will get this up and running, hopefully, and we'll catch up in a little bit when I give it the first boot, or try to first boot. Cool. Catch you in a sec. Okay, so all back together, screwed in. One thing I've noticed as well, there's no serial number on the bottom of this, so they'd never be able to be traded in anyway. This is the moment of truth, I suppose, the bit we've all been waiting for. Will it work? So I've got my two Joy-Cons. That one's got power. This one has not got any power because that Joy-Con was snapped off. So let's put these in. I've screwed this one in as best as I can. I didn't have to use any glue in the end on the outside of it. It's holding in place with the repair job I've done. If it comes loose again, then I might have to take it apart and put a bit of double-sided tape behind it. I wish I did that before screwing it all in, but I've put it together now. A bit late to do that. So, moment of truth, whether this has got any power. I'm really nervous about this because that was a bit of a pig of a job. It's not perfect by any means. As I said, there's no serial number on here, so I'm not going to be able to trade it anyway. There's always going to be a second switch for the house. I can already see a little bit of the adhesive that holds the LCD to the digitizer coming through at the top, which is not ideal. That was an absolute nightmare. That sheet I had with the rectangle piece of adhesive, getting that onto the screen and in the right place and everything, it was just impossible. So anyway, I'm delaying things because I'm not really sure if I've done it all, but let's try and power them on. Yay! She got a Nintendo. Oh, and the battery's dead. Crap. Right, let me go and get my charger. I'll go and get a charger, but at least I know the LCD's working. Whether the digitizer works or not, I don't know. It's still got the screen protector on there, that's why it's looking really dusty. There's probably dust behind it as well. Trying to do this in the garage, as you can see, I've got dust all over my mat and things. It's not the most clinical of environments, to say the least, so it's always going to have a bit of dust behind here. If I'm doing a Game Boy or something else for somebody, I'll generally take that in the house to make sure that there's no dust involved, or limited dust involved if possible. Right, let me go and get a charger and I'll be back and we'll see if we can power it up and see if the digitizer works and if the switch works. Cool! I'm really chuffed, I'm really chuffed. Cool. Okay, so I missed the big reveal. I put it on to charge with at 100% charge. I went out for an hour or two and I missed it switching on, so there's no big surprise, it's working. We seen it was switching on anyway, so yeah, it's switching on. I can... my button's working yet, so A's working. This is still a bit loose in that Joy-Con rail. I don't know whether the Joy-Con's broken as well. Works nicely out there. Let's see if touchpad seems to be okay. I've still got the protector on there. Let's take that off a sec. Look at that. I still don't know whether that's glass or plastic. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's take a look. That one, yeah, it is working. I don't know whether it's recognising that it's in there. No, there's still something up with that, isn't it? It's showing that there's a Joy-Con there. They're getting charged to it, but I don't think it's recognising that we got them both connected. Let's go into the settings. Right down there is a controller and sensor setting. I think we can touch our touch screen to see how it's working on here. What is it? Just input devices, test touch screen. It's like working to some parts of it, but not all of it. Like a dead spot in the middle. So I can draw lines up here, absolutely fine, all up that left hand side. Up the right hand side it seems Like it's working, but it's not holding connection. Don't know what's going on with that, because look down here, absolutely fine. As soon as I move away from that bit, not a massive amount of touch sensor there. I don't know whether that's the digitizer or something else has gone wrong. I'll look into that, because obviously we want to work in touchscreen. We can still play games on there, we can still use it as a handheld switch or a dock switch. I honestly, other than using the menus to do things, I don't know how often I use the touchscreen anyway. I'm sure there are some games that you're going to need it for. It's registering it, but it's just this whole centered area doesn't seem to get much of a interaction at all. Seems right in the middle. Strange, really strange. Okay, so I wanted to jump in quickly. After filming the whole video, I wasn't really happy with the digitizer not working as it should, so I messaged Replace Base, sent them a video of what I've been experiencing with that digitizer, and they confirmed that it was a faulty digitizer. So what I'm going to do is take that one out. I've got to take that out, hopefully get the LCD out without breaking it, let them know what parts I need, and they're going to send me replacement parts out. So that's what is the benefit of having a reliable seller local to you. Because if I was buying that on eBay or buying it from China, I'd have no chance of getting replacement parts. So really great service from Replace Base. I'll get that sorted. Hopefully we'll get the new digitizer in the next couple of days. I'll install it. I probably won't put it in this video, but you can assume that the digitizer is fully working once I got that new one in. Cool. Let you get on with the video. But anyway, we're up and running. We've got the system working. It seems like it is charging that remote, because obviously that one was totally dead. As I said, it still feels a little bit wobbly, so at some point I might see if I can get an extra bit of glue on there just to hold it in a little bit tighter, but it seems like it's wobbling within the new rail, so whether that new rail's got a little bit more play in it, I don't know. But I can press, look, I can use a touchscreen to do all different things, so yeah, it's working in all ways that I'm going to need it to at the moment. There's quite a few little things to do on there. This Joy-Con obviously needs a rubber cap on it, it's missing that, but the Joy-Con seems to be working nicely. This Joy-Con as well seems to be working and doing what it's meant to do. So the system is up and running. I'm really pleased that we've got it working. I'm going to look into that digitizer issue, because obviously it's working from a certain amount of input, but if I try and click in the middle, not get anything at all. So we'll have a look at what we can do on that. Okay, let's do a quick wrap up, see where we are, what we're doing, and go from there. Cool. Okay, so we got one semi-working switch. I'm pretty happy with it. The screen's working as we wanted to. That Joy-Con feels a little bit sloppy in that rail. I don't know whether the rail's moving itself. See if I can see anything. I don't know whether it's just that new replacement rail is not as tight as the original. That one doesn't. It's got a bit of play in it, but not loads, not as much as that one. It's charging and recognising the Joy-Con, that's the main thing. Screen is working, looks absolutely mint. Nice replacement screen. Digitizer, I don't know what's going on with it. It's like the left hand side's working, the right hand side's working. There's parts in the middle that aren't. So yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. Quick summary of what we've done. So we've obviously taken it all apart. Big mistake that I didn't do, and I'm lucky that I didn't blow anything, is I didn't disconnect the battery when I was doing most of the work. Absolutely stupid rookie mistake. I should have done that straight away, but luckily I didn't blow anything. We're up and running. The actual taking it apart, swapping it over and everything else, not technically difficult. I managed to get it without a single speck of dust in there, which is amazing, because I was cleaning it with a microfiber cloth and make sure it's as clean as I can, but I am in a garage and it is getting it gets dusty out here every now and then, so to have no dust behind that screen is absolute miracle. That little black sticky to stick the LCD to the front panel, that was a bit of a nightmare as well. So basically I've stuck that on. There's a tiny little bit of it at the top there, not great. Other things I'll do differently next time as well, because there will be a next time. I will work on a switch again. I think when I heated the screen up and I was working in this area, this outer casing is plastic, not metal. I thought it was a metal outer casing on there, or the main body of it is plastic. I have melted the speaker input a tiny amount where we heated it up to get that LCD, the digitizer off on the original one. But other than that, I'm really chuffed. So there's no serial number on here. Wouldn't be able to trade it anyway. It's not in a mint condition by all means, but it's a nice, as I said in the previous video, it's a nice limited edition Pikachu and Eevee Switch for the house. We'll be able to play on this now. I'm pretty confident that it's going to work for pretty much everything we need it to, connect into the TV, playing Mario Kart, playing all the different games that my family like to play. So yeah, really nice addition to the collection. Gives us another console in the house to play around with, and yeah, really chuffed that I managed to get through it without ballsing it up totally. So other than that digitizer, I'm pretty happy. I might do a follow-up video on that if I need to, but even if I have to change that out, it's literally taking this back panel off, the one ribbon cable that should pop off. Whether I can get the digitizer away from the LCD without cracking that LCD, I bloody hope so. Then I'll take that away, re-stick the new one in, ribbon cable it in, and we're done. So it's not a massive issue. I might keep it as it is for now. I might contact the Replace Base just to ask them if they've had any issues with the digitizers in the past. I don't know whether it's a parts issue or whether it's something I've done, but we'll find out what the issue is and we'll go from there. Cool, so thank you for watching. I hope this has been of use to somebody. It's certainly not a tutorial, it's me trying to get my way through this, sticking myself together. That bloody super glue absolutely ruined my hands. I had to scrub them in the bath last night. I was absolutely covered in it. Did I show you what a stupid idea from Loctite? It stuck to the cardboard that I had to put it on. Absolutely ridiculous. I bought more super glue to do things today, and I no doubt stick myself to something else with that one as well. But yeah, really thank you for watching this. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, give us a like, leave us a comment. It's the most important thing. You really I like the interaction with the comments more than anything else. So catch you soon on the next video. I'll see you soon.